Kurunji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurunji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurunjischoolnkl.in.
See the next continuation problem, example problem. So in our last class, we discussed about projectile motion. So in the topic projectile motion, we derived an expression for maximum height or maximum vertical distance travelled by a projectile and horizontal range, that is the maximum horizontal distance travelled by a body and time taken by a projectile to reach maximum highest point from projection point onwards. Next, we also derive an expression for time of flight, that is the time taken by a projectile from projection point to the point where it touches the ground, okay, right. Along with all the things, we also proved the path of the projectile is a parabola by writing an expression for y, that is the vertical distance travelled by a projectile from starting to ending. Starting to ending means from projection point to the point where it touches the ground. Okay. So, these are all the things. What is projectile motion? What is angle of projection? What is the path of projectile? What is Tm? Means time taken to reach maximum height from projected points. What is Tf? Time of flight. And what is H maximum? And what is R? Right. So, these are all the things. These are all the things we completed in the last class, right. So, that is I already told you it was very important class, right. Next, continuation to the topic, here we are in a discussion about one example problem, okay, right. So, see here, see first I will read the problem, then I will go for solution, right, okay. See this, Galileo in his book Two New Sciences stated that for elevations which exceed or fall short of 45 degrees by equal amounts, the ranges are equal. Prove this statement. So, they have given one statement, so that is what, for elevations which exceed or fall short of 45 degrees by equal amounts, the ranges are equal. So, we have to prove this statement, right, okay. So, this is the solution. See here, for a projectile launched with velocity v0, at an angle theta naught, the range is given by. So, this is the formula for range of a projectile. Here itself we have to remember the terminology. It is the initial velocity of a projectile, it is angle of projection, it is acceleration due to gravity, okay, right. In this expression, in place of theta, whatever the angle you are taking, for example, 45 plus alpha, 45 degrees minus alpha, right? Similarly, 90 plus 2 alpha or 90 minus 2 alpha, right? So, for these angles, so here alpha means what? Just it is in place of like theta, right? So, generally I will tell you, I will modify this statement, I will change these two lines, right? 45 plus theta naught, otherwise 45 minus theta naught, otherwise 90 plus, okay, 2 theta naught, next 90 minus 2 theta naught. So, for these values of angles, so here clearly mentioned, so for these values of angles, the range value will be same, the range value will be same. So, that I can say now for angles 45 degrees plus alpha and 45 degrees minus alpha, 2 theta naught is 90 plus 2 alpha and 90 minus 2 alpha respectively. The values of sin 90 plus 2 alpha and sin 90 minus 2 alpha are the same, right, equal to that of cos 2 alpha, equal to that of cos 2 alpha. Therefore, ranges are equal for elevations which exceed or fall short of 45 degrees by equal amount, Through this entire problem, what we are learning? For the values of theta, either like this, either 45 plus theta or 45 minus theta, or for the values of 2 theta, whether it is 90 plus 2 theta or 90 minus 2 theta, otherwise alpha, whatever it may be, alpha and theta both are indicating angle. Then the values of range, the values of R is same, okay, that is right. Next, second problem, right, this is one example problem. Now, we are going to discuss the second example problem. See here, a hiker, right, a hiker stands on the edge of a cliff, 490 meters above the ground, and he throws a stone horizontally with an initial speed of 15 meters per second, Neglecting air resistance, find the time taken by the stone, to reach the ground, and the speed with which it hits the ground, okay, that is. So, this is the problem, right. A hiker stands on the edge of a cliff 490 meters above the ground and he throws a stone horizontally with an initial speed of 15 meters per second, full stop. Neglecting air resistance, find the time taken by the stone to reach the ground and the speed with which it hits the ground, right. So, they have given g value also. So, in this problem, we need to find time taken to reach the ground from projecting point or point of projection. Next, when it is going to hit the ground, what is the velocity? So, with which velocity it hits the ground? With which velocity, with what velocity it hits the ground, right. So, these two things are we have to find in this problem, right. So, in every physics problem, so as I am saying every time, so after reading the physics problem, first we have to write the given values, then if need we need to draw the diagram, otherwise no need, okay, right. See here. So, first I have written all the given values here, right. Afterwards, see this, when the stone hits the ground, when y is equal to, right. So, this is then, so it is then, it is when, it is then y is equal to minus 490 meters, right. So, already you know that second equation of motion, second kinematic equation of motion is S is equal to ut plus of at square, formula is there now, S is equal to ut plus of at square, formula is there now. So, according to that formula, here minus 490 is equal to minus 1 by 2 into 9.8 into t square, right. that is right. Next, because it is the vertical distance travelled ma, so in vertical direction, the initial velocity of a projectile according to the given situation is 0, right. So that's we have written here, this is Vy is equal to 0. So here the formula what we need to consider is, okay, Sy, otherwise y is equal to, okay, Vy into t plus half Ay into t square, right. So Ay means acceleration in vertically downward direction, that is 9.8. So that's we already know, right, including the sign it is minus, and then it is minus because it is going to decrease. So we have to equate these two, then we will get t is equal to 10 seconds, t is equal to 10 seconds. So here it is what, if you solve this equation we are getting t is equal to 10 seconds. Next, velocity components are, see, observe carefully, Vx is equal to Vox. So it is the starting horizontal component of initial velocity. It is the horizontal component of velocity after a certain interval of time. Similarly can apply for Vy and Voy, but those two will not become equal, those two will be like this. See here, Vy is equal to V0y minus g into t, right. Okay. So that when the stone hits the ground, these are the things now, V0x is equal to 15 meters per second, V0y is equal to V0y minus g into t, right, that is. So what is here, V0y is equal to minus 98 meter per second, V0y is equal to minus 98 meter per second, right. Therefore, so the speed of the stone is, so square root of Vx square plus Vy square, that is equal to this one. So finally we are getting 99 meter per second. It is the velocity of the stone when it hits the ground, right. So this is what. So here they have given some values, based on that we found time taken to reach the ground and then velocity of the stone while reaching the ground, right. Next, continuation, next example problem. See here, a cricket ball is thrown at a speed of 28 meter per second in a direction 30 degrees above the horizontal. Calculate A, the maximum height, B, the time taken by the ball to return to the same okay, and same level, and C, the distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level, okay, that is right. Okay. So here it is h maximum, we have to find maximum height, right. So maximum height is equal to u square sin square, v naught square, okay, generally I am telling you either u or v naught, both are indicating initial velocity, okay, right. So according to here, v naught sin square theta, so that simply he has written v naught sin theta whole square by 2g. So substitute the values of given, that is v naught is 28 and theta naught is 30 degrees divided by 2 into 9.8, that is equal to 10 meters, right. Next, time of flight is equal to 2 v naught sin theta naught by g. So here v naught we know, theta naught also we know, finally we are getting 2.9 seconds, okay. Next, r is equal to v naught square sin 2 theta naught by g, that is, so first you have to substitute v naught value, then theta naught value, that is 60 degrees by 9.8, that is equal to 69 meters, okay, that is r is equal to 69 meters, right. So these three example problems, first, second and third, we discussed related to our concept projectile motion, okay, right. So next continuation topic for us is uniform circular motion, right. So it is the important topic for us in both point of view as well as NEET and JEE mains point of view, uniform circular motion is important. Not only this concept also helps us when we are going to solve the problems related to some other topics, right. That is the importance of this topic, right. Uniform circular motion, right. Okay. So, what is motion? You know, what is meant by motion? When a body changes its position with respect to surroundings and time, then it is said to be in motion. I will repeat once again. When a body changes its position with respect to surroundings and time, then it is said to be in motion. Okay, right. Next, circular motion. Next one, the circular motion, right. Observe carefully. Already we discussed in the last chapter, we talked about what is translatory motion, right. In this topic, I am explaining you what is circular motion, right. What is circle, what is the circumference, what is the area of the circle, right, what is the circumference of the circle, right, what is perimeter. So, that and all from mathematical geometry, from geometrical mathematics you learned. Now, what I am saying is, when a body is moving along the circumference of a circle, the shape of the path, right, the shape of the path in which a body moved, is circle, okay, right. So, that is what I am saying is, whenever a body is moving along the circumference of a circle, then it is said to be in circular motion. But it is not a complete definition. After understanding this complete topic, then you will come to know what is circular motion, what about the change in position of a body when it is in circular motion, and what about the velocity change of a body when it is in circular motion, then what about the acceleration of a body when it is in circular motion. These all the things we will come across after completion of this discussion. Okay, right. So, till now I told you only what is motion and basically what is circular motion. Okay, right. Now, try to understand this word. What is uniform circular motion? Right. So, sometimes based on the situation, the word uniform also gives the equal meaning of constant. Okay, right. So, when your body is in circular motion, right, if the speed of your body is constant, if the speed of your body is constant, then the body is said to be in uniform circular motion. Please be concentrate here. With this definition of uniform circular motion, every student has to understand, when a body is in circular motion, its velocity never constant. That is the fact. When a body is in circular motion, if you consider the whole journey, so one complete circular path of a body, its velocity is not possible to constant, because velocity is a vector quantity. Basically, it has magnitude and direction. So, when a body is in circular motion, you can see these pictures. So, it is the, what is that, like arc of the circle. So, you can see any two positions, see the position P and P dash. So, when the object is at P, this is the direction of velocity. So, already indicated with arrow mark. When the body is at P dash, arrow mark indicates that is V dash. So, it is the direction of velocity. So, direction of velocity changes from P to P dash. What I am saying is, not only at P and P dash, at every moment of time, at every instant of time, suppose for example, here, next here, next here, next here, next here, like that. So, every instant of time, every moment of time, right. So, the velocity of the body is changing, so that the velocity of a body moving in circular motion, the velocity of a body in circular motion is not constant, but speed can be constant because speed has only magnitude, speed has only magnitude, right. So, that is the reason speed may be constant. So, here what I am saying is, I am talking about speed only. When an object follows a circular path at a constant speed, when an object follows a circular path at a constant speed, the motion of the object is called, the motion of the object is called uniform circular motion, uniform circular motion, okay, right. Now, please try to observe these three pictures carefully, okay, right. So, these three pictures are giving the circular motion of a body, but in that I will explain you what is what. See the first picture, it is the arc of the circle along which a body is moving. You have to see these two directions, this direction. So, the body is coming like this, and here you can see this direction, the body is going like this, okay, right. So, it is the center of the circle, it is the center of the circle, and when the body is at P at a particular instant of time, R gives the position vector. When a body is at P dash, the R dash gives the position vector. When a body moves from P to P dash, delta R gives the displacement vector, right. So, when there is a displacement, after that our discussion, our concentration is velocity. So, see here, it is V, that is the velocity of a body at P, right, and it is V dash, that is the velocity of a body at P dash. So, to calculate the acceleration, we need change in velocity. So, it is the delta V, it is the delta V, okay, right. Similarly, come to the next point, next figure, see here, same P dash, right, it is V, it is V dash, it is R, it is R dash. The angular displacement between these two is delta theta, which is the displacement, that is delta R. Then here also, what about the directions of V and V dash? V and V dash, it is delta V, it is delta V, okay, that is right. Next picture, it is the next picture, I mean it is also showing the arc of the circle, right. See here, here he is talking about acceleration, he showed acceleration in the picture, it is towards the center, it is towards center, right. See here, this is the direction of acceleration, right. So, this is a direction of velocity, okay, right. So, in these pictures we have observed what is the displacement and what is the position vectors and what is the direction of velocities and what about the change in velocity, either here or here, but here additionally we have seen the direction of acceleration, okay, right. Now, I want to talk about acceleration. So, first thing is centripetal acceleration, right. So, when a body is in circular motion, definitely initially acceleration acts on a body is towards the center of the circle, this is what A, right, that is called as, so the acceleration which is acting towards the center of the circle on an object is called centripetal acceleration, okay, right. See this, from these pictures, at each point acceleration is directed towards the center of the circle, Next, this we know from the definition of acceleration, that is A bar is equal to delta V by delta t. Suppose as the time approaches to 0, including the limit, you can write the expression for acceleration like this. Then angle between position vectors r and r dash be delta theta, right. Now we can write this thing from what is that, like geometrical considerations. Delta V by V is equal to delta R by R, delta V by V is equal to delta R by, see the congruence, delta V by V is equal to delta R by R. That is the relation between these two. From this mathematically you can write delta V is equal to V into delta R by R. Afterwards, so this step we are repeating here. So A bar modulus of A is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta V by delta t is equal to limit delta t tends to 0. The same thing we have to write because delta V value is here now, that we have to substitute here. Finally, it is V by R into limit delta t tends to 0, delta R by delta t. V by R limit delta t tends to 0, delta R by delta t, right. This is equal to modulus of acceleration, modulus of acceleration, okay, right. If delta t is small, if delta t is small, comma, delta R, modulus of delta R is approximately equal to V into delta t, modulus of delta R is approximately equal to V into delta t, right, because that is you know very well, velocity is the rate of change of displacement. From this you can write this one, right. And one more thing is limit delta t tends to 0, delta R by delta t is equal to V, this is, right. So, here also that is. So, finally, this is V and already V by R is there, this is V, already V by R there. Then what about modulus A? So, modulus A or AC is equal to V into V, V square by R, that is directed towards the center, directed towards the center, okay. So, this acceleration is called as centripetal acceleration, centripetal acceleration. Here angular velocity is equal to angular displacement by time and linear velocity is equal to linear displacement by time or displacement by time. The relation between linear velocity and angular velocity will be like this, right. So, based on this you can also write again another expression for centripetal acceleration, that is omega square into R. So, omega already we know that is 2 pi nu. So, square is there, that is why 4 pi square nu square into R, okay, that is right. So, this is all about circular motion and mostly uniform circular motion, okay, right. So, watch this topic again and again, try to understand as much as depth, okay, right. Next, continuation to this topic, one example problem, that is, see here, an insect trapped in a circular groove of radius 12 centimeters moves along the groove steadily and completes 7 revolutions in 100 seconds, right. Then he is asking to find first angular speed and linear speed. Next, is the acceleration vector or a constant vector? What is its magnitude? What is its magnitude? These two things we have to calculate, right. First, what is the angular speed? Omega is equal to 2 pi by t, 2 pi into 7 by 100 because t, right. So, 2 pi into 7 by 100, that is equal to 0.44. See here, 7 revolutions in 100 seconds, 7 revolutions in 100 seconds. In 1 second, how many number of revolutions means 100 by 7 will come, but it is in denominator. If it goes to the numerator, it will be like this. Then the answer is 0.44 radians per second. So, we calculated angular velocity. Next, linear velocity, V is equal to R omega. Already we found omega, then R value is 12 centimeters, then the answer will be 5.3 centimeter per second square, okay, right. Next, acceleration, A is equal to omega square into R. So, you have to substitute this R value and omega square, then finally it is 2.3 centimeter per second square, 2.3 centimeter per second square, okay. So, this is about example problem. So, in this class we discussed 3 example problems related to projectile motion and then uniform circular motion topic and one example problem related to the uniform circular motion, okay. So, with this class, this chapter motion in a plane completed. So, in our next class we will start a new chapter, laws of motion, okay, right.